Hello, welcome to Madrid. We are here to take a look at the Madrid circuit. You can see the famous La Monumental corner, or the soon-to-be famous La Monumental banked corner behind us. As you can see, very much a building site, but we're really looking forward to getting a taste for what we're going to see when the Spanish Grand Prix comes here in September. We're bringing you along with us on our travels to visit the Madrid circuit in Madrid, which will host the Spanish Grand Prix on September the 13th. We attended the opening ceremony, took a tour of the track, heard from the key players in its creation, and asked Williams F1 driver Carlos Sainz what he expects from the much vaunted La Monumental bank corner. There we also conducted a high-tech test to show how steep it really is. But first, we got an overview of what the track would be like to drive from Madrid resident and sometime racing driver Diego Mejia from the race's Spanish language channel.
Okay, so here we got the Madrid, 5.4 kilometers, 22 corners, starting with the main straight, start-finish line, less than 300 meters from pole to turn 1, which is a short distance, but then you have this slow chicane. They say it's a third gear, but after this you got a long stretch of more than 1 kilometer flat out all the way down to turns 5 and 6. Should be more than 340 Ks according to simulations they have here at Madrid. So an overtaking opportunity, but not the only place where the cars will reach 300 Ks. Then you go up, you enter the Valdebebas zone, which is the neighborhood closest to IFEMA. Turn 8, you go downhill. There's a very steep uphill before, 8%, then down 5%, and the cars gain a lot of speed when they approach La Monumental. These turns 10 and 11, they were somehow introduced in a later phase of the design of the track. Initially, this was going to be flat out all the way to Monumental, but they had to reduce the speed with this chicane turns 10 and 11 so that the cars wouldn't be so quick into the corners. They were afraid, especially about the G's that the drivers would experience with the steep banking of 24%. So the corner is, when you see it now with the barriers on both sides, it has not only the banking, but also as you go towards the exit, it goes uphill. And then at the exit, it goes downhill. So it's a very blind exit, a very quick corner. They expect, according to the organizers, the cars to reach around 250 Ks, maybe more than 2 seconds with plus 4 Gs. So it's going to be a strain on the driver's neck. For sure, it's going to be a lot of strain on the left front tire. I'm thinking about what Pirelli will bring. I assume a very robust tire to stand the banking and the demands of the track in some other places. I like this flowing section from turns 14, 15. It's going to be very quick. Then this slow turn, almost 90 degrees, and you go down and then up into the tunnel that goes below the M11 highway. This is going to be a very fast corner. The turn 19 is also going to be fast, and then they really get to the only place where you have 90-degree corners, like street circuit kind of corners. Turns 20, 21, 22. From this turn 22 probably is the more open. It's quite wide, the track there. You have the pit entry right on the inside. So it should be a very fun track. It's a hybrid track as they describe it, but actually if you count how many corners are from a street circuit kind of track, they're the least, maybe 3-4 corners. The rest, it's a proper racing circuit, and it's going to be a lot of fun, a very unique track.
So this is one of the pit garages. They're pretty big and spacious. As you can come and see my crib. This is where the teams will be. The pit lane is behind you. Back there will be the entrance to the paddock, but the paddock is somewhere over there. And if we walk this way, we'll be able to see where the pit lane is. It's a very long pit lane. It's going to be maybe upwards 25 to 30 seconds, they predict. So very long, very slow. But as we can see, this is the start-finish straight looking this way. Pit buildings under construction, down into turn 1, which is a tight left-right chicane, then off into the outward section, and then up towards the hill.
To find out more about the plans for the Spanish Grand Prix and how the track came together, we heard from Chief Operations Officer Carlos Jimenez.
Obviously, the standout corner is Monumental, the banked corner. It's spectacular. We've been there. Obviously, Zandvoort had a banked corner because it was quite limited in terms of what it could do with space. What prompted the banked corner? What can you tell us about why it's so special and what's so unique about it?
It's special because of not only of the inclination, also the length is extremely long. And due to the huge inclination, it could operate like it's a virtual length of the driver for the drivers. But it's also important or interesting to mention that the exit of the turn to reach the next one has blind spots, so it's gonna challenge a lot the drivers. The construction, we created artificially this landfill by using excavation land of other parts of the plot. So it also has an environmental explanation behind the scene, which is not taking material out of the plot, which would have create a lot of carbon footprint, reduce the distance and reduce the movement of trucks getting soil out of the plot, and putting the soil in the landfills to create this inclination. So it also has an environmental explanation behind this spectacular turn, I will say. So we are very excited to see how the drivers receive the track when they first test it.
And is it correct that there was talk about maybe making the asphalt red in this area? I heard
Well, it was something that we were analyzing, but there was also concern because the pigment hasn't been used before.
Okay.
So for first year we have preferred to be relatively conservative. Obviously, this is a racetrack which has public sections. The degradation will be higher than in other part of the circuit, so we know that we will have to repave the surface, the wearing surface of the track during our contract period of 10 years, and probably for the next repaving we will use the red pigment, which is a color that represents Spain and Madrid. But for
the whole track or just the banked?
Probably we will focus on the internal section, which are not in the public section, because having painted asphalt in the public section in red is not easy in Madrid, because it's a color reserved for cyclists lanes, so it collides with the regulation. But in the rest, in the private section, especially in this very iconic part, we are considering the use of this pigment, and we can also consider having the track inside the exhibition halls, especially in this area. Is something that Formula E does in London in the Excel, and we are thinking about it.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Today's video is brought to you by the Armour All Podium Series, a premium line of car cleaning, detailing and air freshening products made in collaboration between Armour All and Oracle Red Bull Racing. Engineered with precision and expertise, featuring SiO2-based hybrid ceramic technology, the Armour All Podium Series products are formulated to meet the elite performance standards of Oracle Red Bull Racing, so you can achieve podium-worthy results on your vehicle at home. Fans of the race have had a chance to try the Armour All Podium Series products on their cars, and they said the results are incredible. From the tyre shine to the interior detailer and spray wax, this line has everything you need to clean and detail your vehicle like the Oracle Red Bull Racing team. The Armour All Podium Series is available now online and in store. Find out where to buy and more information at armourallpodiumseries.com. the Armour All Podium Series, the world's most elite car care.
Now it's on to turn 12, La Monumental. It's the longest corner in Formula 1 at 550 metres. The banking reaches 10 metres in height with a maximum permitted 24% gradient, which equates to around 13.5 degrees. And to show you what that really means, the race headed to La Monumental with our cutting-edge test technology.
We're here at Monumental, which is the Madrid's banked corner. 24%, not as steep as Zandvoort, but it's a lot faster, it's a lot longer, and it's plenty steep enough. To give an impression of just how steep it is, we thought we would do the orange test. So this is the exit section of Monumental, of the banked corner. It tapers off a little bit here, but this is the section that Carlos Sainz says is fantastic. It's the compression, it raises up and goes blind. I'm joined by Diego here, who can tell us a bit more about it.
Thank you, Jon. Yeah, I'm a local. I've been here for at least 4 times, seeing all the evolution. It looks like really amazing, and it's way different from what it looked when I first came, especially because of what you mentioned, the way the exit is, like you really can't see, and with the walls now, with the barriers, you can even see less than before. So it's going to be quite challenging. The organizers claim, or at least believe, that there could be at least 3 different lines through this bank corner. It's not going to be flat out, but it's going to be unique in the calendar.
So are you going to run high? Are you going to run low? What do you think's ideal?
Well, if you're Fernando Alonso, for sure you're running high.
And this blindness, I mean, how limited are they going to be? How low down? I mean, are we going to see absolutely nothing on the exit?
Yeah, the other thing is, I mean, at least from what you see here, there's more banking towards the higher part of it, whereas it's a lot flatter on the inside, so you may get a lot more grip on the outside. But here, you don't know how much further left you can go. And from what we saw up in turn 8, the track is really narrow now with the barriers. It looked to be more wide before, but now with the barriers, you get a real sense of how not too wide it will be.
So what will this corner be like to drive? Fortunately, we were able to put that question to Carlos Sainz in a press conference held just after the glitzy Madrid opening ceremony.
Carlos, can you talk a little bit about what you expect the experience of La Monumental to be like? How it's different to, fans know the Zandvoort banking, how's it going to be different? What makes it unique? And what's it going to be like with the speed and G-forces and that blind exit?
Probably I need a simulator to give you exact feelings and details of how it will feel. But I can already tell you it looks impressive, because we're going to be entering that corner at a very high speed already, around I think 180 to 200 kph. My feeling is the corner that is going to be flat out the whole way, and it's going to create an overtaking opportunity in the next tight left. The banking will allow you to maybe position the car higher up or lower down if you want to get cleaner to follow. But if it's easy flat, then it will also be a corner where if you stay packed with the slipstream, you will produce quite a bit of slipstream in these kind of corners like we see in Zandvoort. So something interesting to add to the track, especially that sector 2 looks, not only the Monumental, the whole sector 2 looks quite flowing, quite high speed, which I think is great to have in a more like a street track.
John, we've been here since yesterday. It was a bit of a mad dash from Barcelona, but I guess that symbolises the passing of the torch of the Spanish Grand Prix.
Yeah, it's been a fascinating trip. We had a trip around the circuit yesterday. There was all the official opening ceremony yesterday. We got a sneak peek of everything. It's a track that I think is quite different to what you see on. We've seen a kind of computer game simulations. We saw a bit of onboard footage from Carlos Sainz, who did a lap recently. But I think when you see it in real life, there's some sections that look not too spectacular, like the start-finish straight. This is turn 1, 2 and 3 runs down here. Looks flat, quite standard street circuit. But the back section, elevation changes, and obviously La Monumental banked corner.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the thing. You want some of that elevation change. You don't want a completely flat circuit. And they've had an interesting challenge here, haven't they? Because what I hadn't really appreciated was the extent to which it is this sort of circuit of 2 halves. We're in the FIMA section here, so this is all the exhibition halls and everything. So this is more street circuity. But if you go up that way to the other end of the track, which is kind of the fan area of the track, really. You've got La Monumental, but also some other interesting corners. The track doesn't really come alive until an F1 car's on it, but there's enough corners here that I look at and think, oh, that could be interesting. Let's see where it is. And of course, it'll depend on exactly how the curbs end up and where the track limits are, etc., etc. Because if you watch online, there's various different models of the track being used. That's a really quick lap, which just one of the chicanes is super quick because you can cut it, but I don't think you'll be allowed to do that. So it's a track I look round and probably it looks better than perhaps it looked from afar. I'm not sure exactly where I'd put it. I'm not looking at it and thinking this is going to be the best track in Formula One, but at the very least, before the cars are on, I'm thinking this is going to be pretty good.
Yeah, what I like about it is I often find anonymous tracks are really hard to get in your head in terms of where the corners are. I've walked Sochi, I walked Valencia, and it was all the corners looked identical. Nothing really stood out. Sochi had that kind of long right-hander first turn, and the U-corner, it wasn't really fantastic.
It's all just walls and fences, isn't it?
Valencia had the bridge, but they're all flat, fairly boring. Whereas here, already in my head, I can, that climb up to turn 8, 9 and the plunge down the hill, La Monumental, the tunnel. There's enough personality on various aspects here. Until you get the cars running, you can't tell what it's like. And until, I think as Barcelona showed, ultimately the track design is so related to tyre performance, car performance, especially in this turbo hybrid era. So we have to see how it goes. But as you mentioned, it is a track of two halves. And interestingly, we found out that actually there's no way between the two halves of the track in the first year. There's a big motorway that runs down the middle of the circuit. So you've got the two tunnels underneath the F1 track. So initially, fans are going to have to choose whether they go one side and then get a shuttle bus around to the other side, or commit to this side where the paddock's just going to be over here, pits building here, come this side for the close-up driver experience. So there's a lot of interesting elements to it, and I think it's got a bit more personality than it appears just looking at a track map or watching from a computer game.
Inevitably, there's a bit of scepticism. I'm always quite sceptical about the street tracks, the urban tracks, because they get a bit identikit, but I'm not sort of jumping on the hype train for this, but I'm thinking there's enough interesting here that's making me think this could be quite a good track. I think the drivers are going to like it, certainly, and interesting to see what they say on Friday afternoon once they've driven it. Yeah, it's not a revolutionary track, it's not a track thing, and every circuit needs to be like this, but it's got its own personality and character. It's got a quite good location, easy access into Madrid train
town
and
centre.
Underground.
So it's quite easy to get to and from. And I always think with tracks, it's kind of there's the level of ease of which you're able to get to them. So I think it'd be good for fans. They seem to be making an effort in terms of pit buildings, paddock, driver car park.
The fan zone that's not built yet.
Fan zones, grandstands. So they're thinking of a lot of elements. So it's another new step for Formula One. We don't know what the racing is going to be like. We don't know what the overtaking is going to be like. And you still can't tell in 2026 with these hybrid engines and what the power characteristics are and all those elements. But I leave here not as worried as I was beforehand, having watched kind of sim laps of it on a computer game, because you never get the elevation and fully understand. And there are some bits that look spectacular, and any track that looks spectacular normally is spectacular to drive.
And for anybody who's going to come to this race, we'd like to hear from you, because it'll be really interesting to know for in a few months' time what the experience is like. But if I've got it the right way round, if you're at the north end of the circuit, which is the main fan area by La Monumental, you want to get the train. If you want to get to the south, which is where we are now, it's the underground. I've got that the right way round, haven't I?
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, plenty of public transport options, because this is normally like a public exhibition space. So plenty of options to get to and from. A lot of work still to do. It's definitely not finished yet, but they're all on track, and it's probably a venue that's going to evolve over the years. Yeah,
it'll be ready, and looking forward to September. We hope that's whetted your appetite for the upcoming Spanish Grand Prix. You might be thinking, it's just another identikit street track, but there is far more to it than that. Let us know in the comments below what you think of what you've seen, what you like and what you don't like, and what you're expecting from September's race.